headlines for the second quarter of 1799, and this is Josh reading them. In April, the Austrian offensives in Switzerland and Italy made headway as French reverses in Germany free up troops. Jourdan resigned, and French forces on the Danube are reorganized into the Army of the Danube under Massena. Count Alexander Vasilievich Suvorov-Remninsky marches into Italy and links up with the Austrians, and with typical aggression mauls the French badly at Magnano on the 5th, and then again at the end of the month at Cassano. Vigorous Allied attacks succeed in surrounding the French rearguard under Serrurier, whose force is entirely destroyed. Suvorov captures Milan a few days later. In Egypt, the siege of Acre drags on, and Bonaparte dispatches Kléber to keep watch on the Jordan. Between the 8th and the 15th of April, French defeat Turkish detachments near Nazareth on the Jordan River. One day later, Kléber encountered 35,000 Ottomans under the Pasha of Damascus near Mount Tabor, and launched an attack with 2,000 men the next day. Kléber's audacity was quickly humbled, and the French were forced to hunker down in squares until the afternoon, when Napoleon struck the Ottoman rear with some 2,500 men, which forced the Pasha to break off the attempt to relieve Acre. In India, the British siege of Srirangapatna continued with the clearing of the Mysore troops from the exterior of the fortress between the 4th and the 30th of April. Notable at this time were the actions at Sultan Patatope between 4th and 6th April, which would remain Arthur Wellesley's first and most convincing tactical defeat. However, on the 14th, the arrival of the Bombay army saw the city surrounded from two sides, and on the 21st, the first batteries opened fire. In maritime affairs, on 25th April, Admiral Bury slips the Brest blockade with 25 ships of the line and makes for Cadiz, beginning the famous high-seas chase that was the Croisière de Brie. May kicks off in India with one of the most significant events in South Asian history for a decade, when on 4th May, the British storm and sack the fortress city of Srirangapatna, killing Shir-e Mysore, Hazrat Tipu Sultan Fath Ali Khan, who died sword in hand with his men. The death of the clear-sighted Tipu clearing the way for yet more aggressive British expansion in India in the years to come. Moving west but remaining in the east, on 20th May, Bonaparte begins his retreat from Acre. The unsuccessful siege has cost the French 4,000 men and the Ottomans 2,000. And now skipping over to Europe, Moreau is defeated again at the Battle of First Marengo on the 16th of May, after which he retreats to Genoa, and Suvorov takes Turin on the 26th, calling the Piedmontese to rise against the French in the name of their king. Further to the north, on the 27th of May, Massena takes up positions around Zurich as Archduke Charles and General Hotz drive the French back in Switzerland and Germany. And now to June. June is full of bad news for the French. On the 7th of June, Zurich falls to the Austrians after a week of heavy fighting, but Massena is able to retreat and reconsolidate. And in the Levant, on the 14th of June, Bonaparte's forces reach the safety of Cairo. The failure of the Syrian campaign marks his first taste of defeat, and his thoughts now turn back to Europe. At around this time, Suvorov, finding himself sandwiched between Moreau's army and the newly arrived MacDonald, gathers over 37,000 men together and naturally decides to attack. 4 days later, Suvorov's Russia-Austrians decisively rout MacDonald's 35,000 men in a 2-day battle on the Trebia. The French retreat on Parma, pursued by Suvorov. In politics, as we wrap up, a rare example of a bloodless coup which violated no constitutional article and changed none occurred on the 18th of June 1799, known as the coup of Trente Prairial. This event was largely due to the Jacobin and moderate dissatisfaction with the course of the war and recent directory appointments. On the other side, that of the Allies, nothing much has changed except that on the 22nd of June 1799, the Austrians and the British enter a formal alliance which allows Britain to begin bankrolling the Austrian war effort. With enough to be getting along with then and much more to come, I think it's time to go back to the dream team of Charles and the two Alexes.